Hello, welcome back. We're at PDAC and I'm with Max Hughes, the MD of Culpeo Minerals. Max, good to see you.
Thanks very much, Peter, for having me.
No problem. So why don't we just start things off, brief introduction to the company.
Okay, well, Culpeo is an ASX-listed company. We've been listed since September 2021. We're focused on Chile. We're focused on copper. We're focused on the coastal belt of Chile. So Chile's got several different geological domains, but the area that we like is this coastal belt. It's close to areas of infrastructure, bitumen roads. There's power stations, water availability, workforce availability, and one of the most important things it's low altitude, so it's very easy to explore, and you can explore all year round. Been overlooked a little bit from an exploration point of view, so there's a lot of potential there to find, medium size, 100 million tons sort of, size ore bodies, copper, gold, moly. That's why we like it.
Good. And when you say underexplored, who has trod the ground before, or that belt in particular?
Look, a lot of the ground there has been previously explored by smaller companies. The majors in Chile have always been interested in the Andes, where they're going to find these massive low-grade porphyry copper deposits. So the coastal belt usually doesn't contain those massive low-grade ore bodies. The ore bodies are medium-sized, like I mentioned, and they're usually a lot better grade. They're sort of 1% or 0.8% copper and above, and that's why we like it. There is some examples there. Czech have got a fairly large copper gold deposit about 100 kilometres north of us, called Underexplored. So that's about a 300 million tonne ore body, 0.8% copper. So yeah, that's the sort of thing that we would like to find, and we think we've got some good ground that hopefully we've got something like that on the ground somewhere.
Good. And what are you doing to try and find this? So talk us through a little bit of the history of the company and what you've discovered so far, and really what position you're in right now.
Yeah. Okay. Look, as I mentioned, we've been exploring for about 2.5 years. The initial focus for us in the coastal belt was our Llana Carina project, which is a copper molybdenum project that had a little bit of small scale mining done on the surface, and had a little bit of drilling as well done. So we knew that there were some nice intersections there historically. So our focus in 2022, 2023 was to drill Llana Carina. So it was a drill ready target. We went there and we drilled about 7,000 metres of drilling, 13 holes, 10 of which have come back with some very, very good results, up to sort of 250 metres at 1% copper equivalent. So that was the main focus for the company in the first couple of years. Recently, we've picked up a project just 10 kilometres to the north of Llana Carina, called Fortuna. Now, that area is a larger concession. It's about 4,000 hectares, and within that Fortuna project, there's 8 prospects, and all of those prospects are outcropping copper. So in the last 6 months, we've spent a lot of time doing our surface geology work, getting those prospects ready for drilling, and we've recently completed a 1,000-metre drill program at 2 of those prospects. So we've still got another 6 to explore with the drill rig, which we hope to do in the next couple of months.
Just before we go on to obviously this current drill campaign and the methodology around that, but obviously you're getting 250 metre intercepts at decent grade at the original project. Why then look elsewhere? Why look at putting money into other licenses if you're getting that sort of return on?
Yeah, no, that's an interesting question. Now, look, and the reality is the new Fortuna project, as I mentioned, the mineralisation is outcropping. Llana Carina is at least 600, 700 metres vertically extensive, so it's a big system. It does require deeper drilling. A little bit expensive for a junior company, and so we saw opportunity at Fortuna to go and test what we would refer to as low-hanging fruit. There's a lot of copper on the ground where we were doing the mapping and sampling. It had been mined historically with some smaller, mining operations, but there hadn't been a lot of drilling done at Fortuna. So at the end of last year, we decided to take the drill rig back there, start to investigate some of those new prospects at Fortuna. But at the same time, our geologists on site were doing a thorough review of Lana Carina. So that was pulling all the old core out, getting the geology model into a phase where we could go back and we could test some of those deeper targets. So onto your question, we do intend to go back to Lana Carina, and we do intend to go back there fairly shortly. Test those deeper targets, test some of the other breccia targets that we did define at Lana Carina, and at the same time, given the vicinity to Fortuna, we probably will go back there with the rig as well, test some of those shallow targets.
Yeah, because I guess from the outset, someone who's fairly new to the story, you tell me you're hitting 250 meters at decent grade. And you also mentioned at the very beginning there, you're looking for medium but good grade. Yeah. You've got tech up the road 100 kilometers with a decent size spot. I mean, that's you're sitting on something potentially that, I mean, geologically, how continuous is this, do you think? And does that have the potential to grow into one of those deposits?
Absolutely. Look, you can tell the widths of intersections that we did get from Lana Carina were pretty exceptional. Over 200 meters, as I mentioned, 1% copper, and all of the holes, nearly all of the holes hit similar, wide zones of mineralization. So it is a extensive mineralized system. What's interesting about Lana Carina is it does have that vertical extent, where the mineralization is telescoped from the surface, where it outcrops as breccia pipes, hinges porphyry mineralization, and then deeper in the system there's a silica cupola, which is a geological feature that hosts the higher grade molybdenum at depth. So the whole system is zoned, and that's one of the reasons that we sort of wanted to take that step backwards, get all of the drill core out on the ground, re-log it all, understand that geology, because as we both agree, the next few holes are going to have to be a little bit deeper, and we want to get the best value for money out of those drill holes.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so at the moment, based on the core that you've done and the work that you've done, have you looked at any met tests, or is it way too early for that? Because when you mentioned silica, I know with other minerals that could bind up minerals and it could be quite hard to extract. How is the ore body or the core looking in terms of what's the minerals tied up in? Is there any nefarious elements also included in with the copper? How straightforward would it be to potentially mine in the future?
Yeah, that's a good question. Look, the copper ore body, the top part of the system, the breccias and the porphyry, the main copper mineral is chalcopyrite, and the chalcopyrite is associated with molybdenum in that copper zone. The work that we've done to date suggests that will recover very, very easily. Like, we're expecting sort of 90-95% recovery out of that copper zone. The deeper molybdenum zone, which is associated with this silica cupola, we haven't done a lot of test work on that yet. Interestingly, that zone is also associated with elevated rhenium. And as people probably are aware, that rhenium is usually a byproduct of mines that do process molybdenum. So what we're excited about is that molybdenum-rhenium association at depth, but we are still yet to do the met test work on that, so I can't really comment on recoveries. But, given the coarse-grained nature of the molybdenum, it's very coarse-grained, I'm expecting that we will see some positive results.
Okay, good. And talk me through about this new target then. So obviously you've been doing a lot of data work and core work on the original deposit. Since then, you've done this drilling, you've had some results come back. How have they looked? And I guess how is that plan scoping out in terms of going away from the main ore body and finding new resource?
Yeah, at Lana Carina, look, we've got this silica cupola at depth. Now, the silica cupola, from our geological modelling, we believe that has formed due to a second intrusive event. And that intrusive event will sit below the silica cupola. So, that's why we would like to drill some deeper holes into that particular zone, because we think that there could be something larger at depth.
Sorry, I meant with the other deposit that you just...
That's Fortuna.
Fortuna, yeah.
As I mentioned, we've got 8 prospects there. We've explored 2 of those prospects with the drill rig. We do have some assays, yes. The first hole we have got back from the Ki North prospect. Now, that hole returned 26 metres at 0.81% copper from about 29 metres below the surface. So that's a nice wide intersection, pretty good grade. Now, that Ki North prospect is part of a much larger 3 kilometre long structure. So that structure is split into Ki North, Ki Central and Ki South. So what we've been doing in the last few months is we've been doing a lot of surface prospecting on the southern part of that structure, Ki South. And what we're seeing at Ki South is a lot more gold associated with the copper, which is pretty exciting for us. We're seeing 1% copper, 1 gram per tonne gold. So it's nice to have that gold credit. That particular part of the structure is 1.2 kilometres long. It's had no historical drilling into it. So what we're looking at doing in the next few months is to take the drill rig back there and test that structure. And we anticipate we're going to see, 30 to 50 metre wide intersections at 0.8 to 1% copper, but also, have a fair bit of gold associated with the mineralisation, which brings up, the total, metal endowment of that particular part of the structure. So that's pretty exciting for us to be able to take the rig back there. These are shallow targets too. They outcrop on the surface, so we're anticipating the holes will be 60 to 100 metres deep. So it's unlike Lana Carina. It's a lot cheaper to explore with the drill rig.
But that's still a 0.8% copper initial drill holes over 20 odd metres. It's still looking very promising, especially because it's so close to surface. You're talking about going a bit further south where you've got a bit more gold mineralisation. Was that through grab samples that you found that gold mineralisation, or what? Or is it?
Yeah, a mixture of mapping and while we do the mapping, we take grab samples. There was some historic channel samples there, like more consistent over wider zones where they did see some wide mineralisation. We've gone in and infilled between those channels with our grab samples, and really just to confirm that mineralisation does exist, and prepare us for future drilling programs so we can target some of that outcropping mineralisation.
Okay, so just talk me through your capital structure at the moment, because I obviously you've got 2 drill ready or existing licenses here that deserve more follow up. So what's the capital structure looking like at the moment? How well supported are you by shareholders? What's the sort of current cash in the bank? That sort of thing.
Yeah, look, we're fairly tightly held. It's about 150 million shares on issue. We do have a lot of support from our current shareholders. We've just done a capital raise and raised about 1.7 million Australian dollars. So we've got about 2.7 million Australian dollars in the bank account. And I think people will see historically that we do like to spend our money in the ground on geology work, geophysics, and in particular drilling. So we're well funded at the moment to do the next round of drilling. That's why we'd like to get that drill rig back to site as soon as possible.
Okay, and what's the current market cap at the moment?
Market cap at the moment is fully diluted, about just over 7 million Australian dollars. Yeah, a very low market.
Interesting,
cap.
Isn't it? And that's why do you think? I know everyone probably asks this question. It's really hard to answer, but for what you've done with the drill bit, that seems low to me personally. What is it? Is it Australian market not value in Chile, or what?
Yeah, look, that's a question we get asked a lot. I mean, we are an Australian listed company. I think sometimes the Australian investors may have a little bit of a hard time understanding, the politics of Chile. You've got to keep in mind that Chile is the number 1 copper producer in the world. Yeah. It's a very robust mining industry. The mining policies are very transparent. So it is a very good place to operate particularly when you're exploring for copper. But I think, the Australian investors, they have other companies to choose from that may be working, within Australia. So we do have a challenge in front of us to try and explain to people that, Chile is a fantastic place to explore. And I think, in the last couple of months, I think we're starting to see a little bit more acknowledgement on that. We're seeing quite a bit interest in the share price, that we've seen a bit of interest in the announcements that we have been making. So I think, after a couple of years of hard work, I think some of that's starting to pay off, and people are starting to realise that, being an ASX company exploring in Chile, we've got some very good ground geologically, and I think we will make a discovery. We've already made one at La Carina, but hopefully we'll make another 2 or 3 at the new Fortuna project as well.
And what's the idea with moving forward? I guess, look, you're doing the right thing. You're getting good results with the drill bit. How do you foresee this company going forward? Do you need a partner to help you progress this? Do you want to go it alone? Obviously you've got a lot of, you were talking earlier about 8 new prospects that you want to identify and drill, right? How much do you, obviously as a junior company, there's only so much you can do yourself. Are you looking for JV? Are you looking for earnings? Are you looking for other partners to help you out? Or is this something that you want to go out on loan and sort of build up?
Well, look, I think that's one of the reasons we do like the coastal belt, because we are targeting that medium-sized ore body. Those size ore bodies with the better grade, they do allow a junior to progress them, to feasibility study and even construction if required. So, at the moment we're focused on, building the resources up. We haven't got any tons and grade yet for any of our projects. So obviously, with the next round of drilling and probably another round of drilling after that, hopefully we'll be able to, start to make a resource estimate on what we do have in the ground. So I think it's a bit early to tell. I think we can go a fair way on our own. Obviously, if the size of these things becomes something that's unmanageable for a small company, obviously we would look.
That's a nice problem to have, though, isn't it? If that happens, yeah. Okay, and just talk me through the next couple of, I guess, the next 6 months, 12 months. What are the key things that people should be looking out for and expecting to see from you guys?
Yeah. Over the next, well, as I mentioned, we're trying to get the drill rig back there over the next few months. So we will have a lot of news flow coming out of both La Carina and Fortuna in respect to the next round of drilling. So I think people should keep an eye on that. That will probably extend to mid-year. We are doing a lot of other prospecting work at Fortuna. We've got a prospect at the north of Fortuna called La Florida, where we're doing a lot of geochem and probably some geophysical work. That's a bigger target. That could be another La Carina style breccias with the porphyry intrusive below. So we're working that prospect up to be something that we can start planning drilling around as well. So we'll have the next round of drilling in the next few months. We'll have further exploration results from the surface sampling work, and then in the later part of the year we'll be drilling again. That's one of the luxuries of the coastal belt. You're not really affected by weather. In the Andes, in wintertime in Chile, you can't go up there. So that's sort of good for us. That the drill rigs became a little bit less expensive as well, and more rigs available. So yeah, mid-year, wintertime in Chile, we would be looking at another round of drilling.
Good.
Yep.
Looking forward to it, Max. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Thank you.